In the heart of Shibuya City, Tokyo, nestled between towering buildings and bustling streets, lived a vibrant and imaginative girl named Aiko. Aiko was 8 years old and had a unique way of seeing the world, full of colors, patterns, and melodies that danced through her mind. She loved to collect small trinkets and colorful objects, and her room was a kaleidoscope of treasures. Her days were filled with the sounds of her favorite songs, the feel of soft fabrics, and the joy of her imagination. Aiko had autism, and her way of interacting with the world was as beautiful and unique as the cherry blossoms in spring. She had a support worker named Yumi, a kind-hearted young woman with a perpetual smile and a knack for making ordinary days extraordinary. Yumi had been with Aiko for 2 years, and the two shared a bond that was as strong as the tallest skyscraper in Tokyo. One sunny morning, Aiko woke up with a sense of excitement buzzing in her chest. Today was special. Today, Yumi had promised her a trip to Spiral Toys, an American-themed toy shop in the vibrant Harajuku district. Aiko had been looking forward to this day for weeks. She had heard tales of the wonders inside the shop, shelves upon shelves of toys from all over the world, plushies, action figures, puzzles, and more. Aiko-chan, are you ready? Yumi's cheerful voice called from the hallway. Aiko quickly jumped out of bed, her mismatched socks slipping on the polished wooden floor. She picked out her favorite yellow dress with blue polka dots and hurried to brush her teeth, her heart racing with excitement. After a quick breakfast of rice balls and miso soup, the two were on their way. The journey to Harajuku was an adventure in itself. Aiko loved riding the train, watching the buildings whiz by and counting the number of stops until they reached their destination. She pressed her nose against the window, her eyes wide with wonder as the city unfolded before her. When they finally arrived at Harajuku Station, Aiko could hardly contain her excitement. The streets were alive with people dressed in all sorts of colorful clothing, from frilly Lolita dresses to edgy punk outfits. It was like stepping into another world, one that was full of life and creativity. As they made their way to Spiral Toys, Yumi pointed out various landmarks, weaving fun facts into her stories. Did you know, Aiko-chan, that Harajuku is famous for its street fashion? People from all over the world come here to see and be seen. Aiko nodded eagerly, her eyes darting from one vibrant storefront to another. She clutched Yumi's hand tightly, feeling safe and excited all at once. Finally, they arrived at Spiral Toys. The shop's entrance was a whirlwind of color, with a giant spiral staircase at the center that seemed to reach up to the sky. Aiko's eyes grew even wider as she took in the sight. The shop was a multi-story paradise, each floor dedicated to different kinds of toys and games. Let's start at the top and work our way down, Yumi suggested with a grin. Aiko nodded, her face lit up with joy. They climbed the spiral staircase together, Aiko counting each step aloud. 1, 2, 3. She giggled, her voice echoing through the stairwell. When they reached the top floor, Aiko gasped. It was a plushy wonderland, with stuffed animals of every shape and size. There were cuddly bears, fluffy bunnies, and even a giant octopus with tentacles that stretched across the floor. Aiko ran to the nearest shelf and picked up a soft, rainbow-colored unicorn. Look, Yumi, it's so fluffy, she exclaimed, hugging the unicorn tightly. Yumi laughed, her eyes twinkling. It is. Do you want to explore more, or stay here with the plushies for a while? Aiko thought for a moment, then placed the unicorn back on the shelf with a gentle pat. Let's explore more, she decided, her curiosity leading her to the next section. As they moved through the different floors, each one held new surprises. There was a section with action figures from popular movies and TV shows, where Aiko marveled at the tiny details on each character. She found a puzzle section and spent a few minutes admiring the intricate designs on the boxes, imagining what the completed pictures would look like. In the arts and crafts area, Aiko's eyes lit up at the sight of a DIY slime kit. Can we get this, Yumi? She asked, holding up the box with hopeful eyes. Of course, Aiko-chan, Yumi replied, adding the kit to their growing basket of goodies. One of the highlights of their visit was the interactive play area. It was filled with building blocks, toy cars, and a giant ball pit. Aiko hesitated at first, but with gentle encouragement from Yumi, she soon found herself diving into the sea of colorful balls, laughing as she emerged with a bright red ball on her head. Look, I'm a clown. She giggled, her laughter infectious. Yumi clapped her hands in delight. You sure are, Aiko-chan. The happiest clown in all of Harajuku. As they made their way to the ground floor, Aiko spotted a section filled with musical toys. She picked up a small xylophone and started to play, her fingers moving deftly over the colorful keys. The cheerful notes filled the air, creating a melody that made everyone around them smile. Yumi watched with pride as Aiko lost herself in the music. She knew how much Aiko loved creating sounds and rhythms, and seeing her so happy made Yumi's heart swell with joy. After a few hours of exploring, playing, and picking out a few special toys, it was time to leave. Aiko's basket was filled with treasures, including the DIY slime kit, a small plushie, a set of colorful marbles, and a miniature puzzle. As they walked back to the train station, Aiko held Yumi's hand tightly, her heart full of happiness. "Thank you, Yumi. This was the best day ever," she said, her voice soft but filled with sincerity. Yumi squeezed her hand gently. "I'm glad you had fun, Aiko-chan. I had a wonderful time too. We'll have to come back again soon." Aiko nodded, her mind already filled with thoughts of their next adventure. As the train whisked them back to Shibuya City, she leaned against Yumi, feeling content and loved. The day had been perfect, full of laughter, discovery, and the simple joys of being together. And as the city lights twinkled outside the train window, Aiko knew that with Yumi by her side, every day could be an adventure.